On your mark, get set, go! Welcome back to CKC Garage. I'm Jonesy, Power Wheels Guru, and if you're watching this video, you're obviously very serious about your Power Wheels racing. With the popularity of Street Outlaws, Power Wheels racing the popularity has went through the roof. Little backstory, this is Nightmare. It's got millions of views. It's got us interviewed for reality shows about crazy Power Wheels. Long story short is we just got contacted by a racetrack in Michigan here because Central Ohio Power Wheels Racing, Mel Robinson is the founder of that, and he has gained popularity that it's getting something that it's probably going to be nationwide, maybe even a point series. But anyways, we had this crazy car that would go 50 miles an hour with go-kart parts, a giant winch motor, and electric car parts. So the rules state that it has to be a stock gearbox, which this is a Power Wheels. We are going back and we are gutting it. It's still going to look cool. It's still going to have wheelie bars, a working parachute, nitrous purge, the shaking motor, front disc brakes. But our goal is to make the wildest, baddest stock gearbox Mustang, or Power Wheels for that matter, ever made. So no more, quote, go-kart, as people were calling this, because it was a half go-kart. Now it's going to be strictly a tube chassis with Power Wheels gearbox. So it motivated me to sit down and take my notes. I've been doing this since my kid Drift was 4. He's now 11. So 7 years of experience. We took this Power Wheels racing so serious that we literally made our own miniature dyno. All right, go ahead and do a poll. All right. Power, miles per hour, watts. Dyno, the Dynamite 2000, and we would test and tune. We would try different motors. We would put them on there until they went up in smoke. I wish I would have had video of that. But we have since graduated. We are neck brace deep into mini wedge racing. These are the new trophies from last year. But these are the trophies that the Sidewalk Outlaws used to get. There was hardly any racing. I would have to drive hours to get these guys to a race, but there's, I think, 48 or 50 trophies up there that they just loved it. So now that it's getting popular and my kids can't drive them, I can still build them. So I have accumulated a bunch of items that I'm gonna go over and tell you guys what works, what doesn't, and I'm going to break it down into 5 parts. It's going to discuss going over picking the proper model. That makes a huge difference, guys, unless you want to do a LS swap where you're taking gearboxes, and that is something that most people have never even taken apart. But these are gearboxes right here, guys. Each one of these totes is a different gear ratio. I'm not going to get into it in this video because this is just the introduction to Power Wheels Racing, the 5-part series. Power Wheels brand did a fabulous job of making these things versatile. Peg Perigo, they basically have 2 gearboxes. And I'm not going to get into details, but they've got, actually 3. I'm going to take that back, 3. They've got the Gator gearbox, they got the Razor 800 gearbox, which is 24 volts, and then the Gaucho box. You can't really do much with that other than swap out motors. Motors, you say, what is the best motor to use? It's not just the motor, guys, it's how you break it in. I can't tell you how dumb I was in hindsight that I would take these expensive robotics or RC motors, and I'd throw them in, we'd show up to the race, and we'd hit it with a whole bunch of amps, and it would just go up in smoke. So I have, throughout the years, developed a way to break in motors. Yes, you have to break in brushed motors. Brushes, they come and they are, you know, basically flat. Well, they have to conform to the armature of the motor. So I'm going to do one part series just talking about motors, pinions, gearing lube, breaking them in, and what one is best depending on your model, because there's two different size motors. There is a 550 motor and there's a 775. Unless you have a Power Wheels brand that has both mounting bolt holes, you can see those two mounting bolt holes, you're limited to sticking with one size. And I have a favorite for each size, and I will prove it on our little dyno over there. Basically, it's a tachometer that shows RPMs. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks to even gain RPMs out of it by removing the torque sleeve, and I will prove it. I talked about gearboxes. Let me see here. Oh, yeah, we got to talk about electronics. Now on Old Nightmare 2.0, I can't really discuss it because I got some crazy parts coming. Here's a hint, brushless, okay? That's where I'm going to leave it. We're not messing with brush motors anymore. I can't wait to see the first hit on brushless 60,000 RPM motors. So electronics, guys, it's really important and a safety concern that if you're using the stock gearboxes and wiring, it's got this foot plunger. And I have proven it because it happened to us twice, that this is when they press the gas, it closes the circuit. Well, when you hit it with a whole bunch of hungry amp motors, this can actually weld shut and you will have a runaway car. We've easily made these 20 plus miles an hour. They don't have safety gear in these things, guys. So highly recommend gutting it. And we're going to talk about that in one of our videos of how to safely upgrade these things. And heck, probably even put in a parent disconnect. That's what the track promoter was asking, is if we have a way to kill these. Because we got to be safe with these kids, guys. Just like our mini wedges. I mean, they're wearing fire suits, helmets, neck braces, gloves, you know, 5-point harnesses. We got to be safe because this is going to get out of hand. Somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody's going to get sued. So these are speed controllers. We're going to discuss that, as well as batteries, guys. He doesn't know exactly what rules he's going to allow, and I'm referring to the track up here in Michigan. Is he going to just stick with the sealed lead acid? Is he going to, you know, allow him? There's going to be two classes: stock 12 volt and then modified 24 volt. This is an 18 volt pack. This would be a good option, is two 12 volts in series. We've also got lithium PO4 or lithium iron phosphates. We've got lithium ion with the drill batteries with the 3D printed adapters here that I tell you what, we would go to the races, we'd put one of these in and we would leave it in low, which makes it 9 volts instead of the 18. And we would smoke these guys. It got so bad that people refused to race us. That's right. And at one promoter, he would make us start back behind them and give the other kids a head start. People call us cheated up, but we weren't. We just used common sense and the understanding of gear ratio and battery lightness and power output. All kinds of things, guys. We're going to go over how important and easy it is to thread axles to make it easier for maintenance. Because, guys, these are plastic gears. See those gears? You will break them. Yes. So you got the motors connected to the gearbox, connected to the tires. Well, if you got all this power and you're sitting there spinning and spinning, that ain't winning, right? So we've already posted the video. I'll put that up above right here, the link to it. But we've got this great mod that is super cheap. We've seen people put like bike tires and other things on the outside. You're adding a ton of rotating mass. Yes, it does grip good, but the screws look bad, but in our opinion. So we've got this cheap Harbor Freight foam that we put on the outside, and it actually not only gives you traction, it makes you faster because it increases the diameter of the tire, so it gets a tire top speed. Another easy mod that we're going to talk about is adding rubber to the outside. Super simple, guys. We're going to talk about the model, picking the proper model, what motors to use, proper gearing, and the difference, because if you got a model, we're going to teach you how to swap the gearboxes to a different ratio, and it's just, this video will go on and on if I try to do it all in one. The tires and the battery technology, guys. So don't be adding lawnmower batteries, car batteries, and think you're the schnizzles, because that's not safe and it's just a ton of unneeded weight. But anyways, guys, this video was mainly to introduce Nightmare 2.0 big tire car. You know, we're thinking about doing it for a while, but that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully you watched this whole video so you get the grasp of, we're going to share 7 years of Power Wheels experience with you guys. So my kids aren't in it anymore, so I feel like, hey, if you guys are in it to win it, watch these videos, and we'll see you guys in the winner's circle. Thumbs up, and thanks for watching, guys. There it is, first run. Let's see what she does. Just give it a little bit of gas. Let's go full throttle, see what she does.